Hi, okay, we're back. We are ready to keep adding to this Google site. We are going to start with adding some text. So if I were working on this page and I wanted my students to add a description for each of the pictures of their artwork, once you're on the page, you want to go over to the Insert tab and select Text Box. And then a box will appear. So, project. First 9 weeks, we'll say adventure, and I can select my theme. This is all based on those color choices I made in the beginning. Let's say I only really want it to focus on this picture, so I'm going to grab this one and move it down, and you'll notice the other one drop down as well. So I can make those adjustments when I'm ready. You can also move around this picture. So let's say I wanted this to be centered. I just grab it, kind of gives me a grid on where I want to put it. And I can also center this text. And I can add bullets if I needed to, like if on my English website, I can be doing that for my English portfolio. Okay, and I could go through here and kind of add a bunch of descriptions for each one. So I'm going to grab this one and move it down. And now I'll just go ahead and duplicate this by clicking on the little rectangles. And then when I want to, I can move these up. And when you see that blue line in the background up here, that's where it's going to sit. So again, I can move this to the center if I wanted to, or if I wanted to kind of have them kind of zigzag back and forth, I could have it do that as well. So pretty easy to add text. I can also stretch the picture if I wanted to. If it's not going to mess up my proportions, I could do that. Otherwise, I would probably leave it. Okay. Now, so that would be if I was adding text. Let's go to that would be more of a visual portfolio. If I was going to do more of a writing portfolio, I'll click on this one. And I could add this one. I think I'll start with the text box and just put some titles, and we'll say this is a title and I want it to be in the center. And if I had my students create a document using Google Docs, they could definitely pull that in here, but I can also just have them copy and paste any sort of electronic writing in a text box. So I'll do both. So if I wanted to pull it from a document, I'll go over to Docs. Remember, everything's pulled in from the drive, so it needs to kind of already be ready for you. So I'll just pull in this one. Once I click on it, it's blue. I'll hit Insert. And there's my Google document. Now, if I just wanted to have just writing without pulling it in anywhere, I'm going to insert a divider. And I'll click on, oh, I just clicked over here and it gave me like a little wheel rather than going over here. So this time I'll click text, and I'm going to grab some text from a Word document. So I'll just open up a Word document that I kind of have saved on my computer, grab some text, copy, and paste. And there we go. So you could have them use this divider to kind of go between different writings and use the titles to kind of give different titles to the grouping of the different prompts or writing styles you had them do. So let's say I'm going to do another one. And I actually want to move this down. And I'll just say poetry. This will be my poetry text. Again, I'm going to center that. And so if I was creative writing, poetry, and then I could have them insert there as well. Okay, so that's the writings. I'm going to go over to the science page to kind of demonstrate some other ones. So one thing I can also do is we did texting images, uploading images. Embedding just means you're going to pull in an outside web page or a blog post, anything that has an embed tool. So I'm actually going to open up something that I know I have so you can see how that works. So I have my newsletters here. So I'm going to click on one of them and get that embed code so I can paste it into my site. So it's going to look like a bunch of code. You'll notice that it's got an iframe, which basically means it's an embed code. So I'm going to click on it, copy it, and then now I can go to embed, and I'm going to click on embed, and I'm going to paste. So it's going to look like that. And again, I can move this over to kind of center it if I wanted to, but that's what embedding does. If I go back to embed and just do a site, take a look at what that looks like. So it's telling me that this is just a website. It's not an actual embedding of coding code. So that would be like if I just listed a site there. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to trash it. Okay. Now, we'll add a divider. If I wanted to add a YouTube video, I could easily do that. So I'll just search for a biology video. And we will, actually, I'm going to go to one that I think will work a little better. Okay, so we'll click here. And I'm going to move it as I want it centered, or actually I want it over to the left. And so that would be how YouTube works. I could also get a calendar if I really wanted to. With this being a portfolio, that probably wouldn't be something I would want. If I wanted to showcase a Google slide that I had made, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on slides. And again, it's pulling any slides that I've made that are in my drive. So I am going to click on this one and insert. And there's that. If you had forms, same thing. We're going to select a form, insert. So it's pretty easy to insert anything since they all work together. Again, I could add text boxes in between. So this is my formative assessments. And you could have them name it whatever they needed to. Subheading, and I want it to be yellow. Video uploads. This was my slideshow, and then this was a form. So let's take a look at what it would look like if I were to publish this. So I'm going to click on this little eye. So that is my preview. So this is the science page. Here's how it would look. You can see I'm clicking on that, embedding. It goes through by scrolling each one down. I can pop it out by clicking that little arrow, and then I get the full newsletter. I can also scroll down. I've got this and this. Each one of them will pop out. Here are the other pages. There's my art page, my English page. And if I want to get out of here, I'll click on the X.